It's Saturday, August 13th, 2022. I'm in this place. I'm trying to digest some of this stuff that's going on in the news best way that I can for things that I've never even heard about. I mean, when I was little, I knew I was extremely important. I just wasn't sure or told why. And whatever happened here at this point. Then when I had Alexander and I duplicated my star from star cosmic mother to cosmic child, from star person to star child, it became a whole nother, like, important whatever. I've never been treated important, it doesn't feel like, by the humans here. But that's a whole nother set of circumstances, which I'm trying to figure out why there's been so much ignorance and insolence in my arrival. Yesterday, there was, Lewis took us to this place called Ben's Deli, Bens, in the local area. It's a kosher deli. And inside of it, they sell Star of David pasta. I do not have confirmation from the humans in the local area, but based on the packaging, it had a very particular star, not like the North Star, not the Lone Star, not a dinkus. It is a very different, it's two sets of triangles geometrically and geospatially put together, and the humans refer to it in some social agreement as the Star of David. Now, in cosmologically certain things, I was born of a star which arrived in 1978. I happen to be born in August. I happen to have a special DNA that's different than the rest of the general population. But as a star, if this is the star I arrived on through the V, I had the second star. And then when you put the two stars together, you have a generational overlap between the cosmologically certain, the biologic, the analogic, being the anatomical. There is a timing of a clock, a timing of a season, a timing of a generation, like to fix a generational gap. There's a lot of things that he and I represent. There was religion based off of it. It's not like, and it is timing of life cycles on this planet. I know it's important. What I am not clear on is why it's being handled the way that it's been handled, where it's just almost throwing me out. I mean, yesterday I had to take one of my children. I'm the cosmic mother. I had the second set. I have a linear piece of time in a biological clock system. I have my biological clock, as witness, which I've seen the humans do this, where they look through, and then I've duplicated my star into another human being that walks and exists on the planet. So now that right there. But then there's these things like I see there's a president by Joe Biden. He's the current president. He's born something in November, whatever astrological house. I don't know if he fits in a Scorpio, not quite sure. And then there's this president, former President Trump. Now, former President Trump's interesting because he lived in New York the same time I lived in New York, except he lived a very pampered lifestyle. So I'm a little confused why a religious and planetary importance that several religions go off of, timing of the planets, the stars, the seasons, the health of the planet, the health of the people. I mean, it's been this way for thousands of years. Why all of a sudden, upon my arrival, is it so disheveled that I don't even get the correct life partner? I don't even get the correct alien DNA like I have of NEG, which is not general pop. It's not the ordinary, it's not the regular. It's something completely different. It's a different set of proteins. And the mass amount of people could cause great damage to my DNA and my person by whatever. And has. So then I'm looking at some of the and Trump is a Gemini. He's not even a Leo. I mean, Leo, Leo. It's Roman numeral 50. In Io mi Io. I have a cosmic brother somewhere. I mean, he got to stardom of important things. Perhaps he can get to a level where he knows how to speak to the others or people. I don't really know. I don't really know what the humans are up to, other than I see something they put on here. CBS This Morning, episode E159, which came out on Chris Hemsworth's birthday, another Leo, um, which is August 11th of 2022. It also happened to be a Thursday, go figure, on the year that I discovered his movie about Thor. And I haven't even seen his earlier movie productions, might I add. I just saw the last one. But anyway, so acid rain from plastic particles. But it's not acid rain, it's acing rain. Stockholm just came out with a thing Tony DeCopel mentioned on CBS This Morning. It was at a 1.31.40. So now the plastic, I mean, like the rain's not even in this area in these United States, is not even drinkable when it comes out of the clouds. Just to do a regular rain collection, it's now an acing rain. ACING is how they referred to it, which is really frightening. The episode on August 12th, 2022, which was E160 at timing of 16.14 in CBS This Morning, they put on that Bordeaux in France has a wall of fire going on. Their lake beds are drying up and frying the fish right at the lake beds, but that's in Europe. Let's see. And then that goes back to the euro, which I think looks like a C of some sort. And then on CBS Saturday mornings, which was today, at 1.02.03, so 123, they had climate change and the forest. And they were explaining, they put up a couple of brand names, but again, and then they put up something about Philip Morris in put up like a symbol, which I mean, I've heard of the company as far as cigarettes go. I haven't really heard of it anything more than that on in the local area. I mean, I know others follow this stuff. There's so much I don't know what to follow. I I've met a Morris and he seemed to be a very important Morris in Canada, But again, I worked for his company in real estate in New York as part of one of the franchises. But again, it wasn't a salaried position, and it's really confusing. I'm no longer with them. I no longer even hold my real estate license. Um, but that was talking about growing forests, which I can understand on some level about growing interest in foresting and keeping forests as the natural, like, just like I'm a moving, speaking feature of this planet, as like an alien to the terrestrial, and the terrestrial being the born planet that I was born into, and the environment, the habitat, that kind of thing. And then there's the tree, which doesn't speak, but if you watch its life cycle is, and how it's pulling carbon out, or how it's burning because it's so much tinder, and it's so much drying process in some convection that's going on in some other science category that, I mean, like, nobody speaks of as a whole. um but they said that they got big corporations to invest in this forest, almost as like as an insurance policy, so they don't pollute. But then the exact adverse reaction is happening where they're causing more pollution. They'll just buy more of these tax credits, but now they're burning, so now they're in some kind of carbon negative. Like, that's the synopsis I got this morning, or over the last 3 days watching the headlines. I mean, again, I don't have anybody on a two-way conversation, because Lou, I don't know what he knows or what he doesn't know, but it's not something he speaks about. Um, and there's no like professional advisor around, so this is gets really confusing on how do I help myself and my child. I mean, they've got this one level of humans like Trump, he's a Gemini, and President Biden, he's another human, he's a Gemini. Oh, he's a in November, and they're being taken care of very well. And I don't know how the heck they got where they got. And then there's myself, who actually is a religious effigy, and almost as important as a tree in the environmental and planetary aspect of it, as a cosmic mother who reproduced herself and now has this anatomical timing, which is usually how in Old Kingdom they set crown, and they set precedents, or they set these things in motion in order to correct celestial alignment and larger, bigger picture to build trust and loyalty amongst the rest of the already lifted, I suppose you could say, in societal. Why I was left in a room and to degrade in health while everyone else is playing around with credits and balance sheets, and the planet's being unbalanced, and I'm being completely neglected. I mean, like, Lynn and Lou die tomorrow. I'm not even prepared to take care of myself. That's how long I've been waiting and struggling just to find a toehold, like holding on to the birthright that I was born with and what I was to become. But my story's off. The humans altered my story. I arrived as expected. It's in somebody's legacy system, it's in some planetary religious effigy. But why I'm being held out of light, or out of where I belong, and others are being lifted ahead of me, I will never understand. It makes no sense whatsoever, especially with the planet going as horribly wrong as a storybook in We Told You So. I mean, it was already foretold in prophet and prophecy that these things would happen steadily, and it doesn't get any better. This morning, also, on Saturday morning, I don't have the time listed, but they put on something about India and a partition. I don't even know what that is. It looks like some staged coup to throw out the British Empire. But then there was like this mass exodus. Where did they go? Why did they leave? Doesn't tell that. It just makes the white man look really bad again. I'm so tired of that story, especially being how off the planet is from where its center of correctness is and how I've been treated. It's just it's beyond comprehension, honestly. Um and then like how are they even excusing themselves for the lack of care and the lack of education? Like there's others who know things, but the lack of sharing of resources and of like opportunity and of lifestyle, rather than bringing me into the fold, it's like holding me on the outs and purposely like burying me in dirt and disgust to bring this extra special child, being Alexander, as a Cattaruzza, no less. I went to a doctor the other day. He's like, is that Eastern Europe? Or no, the priest gentleman. He goes, is that Eastern European? I go, very well could be. Um, so I bring this very special child in these disgusting circumstances, and I don't see any kind of like, I see outreach to feed the homeless, to clothe the homeless, to educate the home, all this stuff that they waste money on, which in like, yeah, you're helping out humanity. I get it. But it's like there is a hierarchy in human things at like some level that's being completely disregarded and taken apart. And then they were using words in this India story. Partition, never heard of. Some kind of appropriation, I never heard of. Like again, like are these the misappropriation of funds? Because there are it's astrological, cosmological. It sets the habitat for the planet. It has an anatomical or biological piece that goes along with it in a component. What I don't understand is why, when I know I'm one of these pieces and I know that somebody else knows, I know there's Alexander, let's put it this way, for the Star of David, for this geological, like this geometrical shape that then duplicates itself and has immense importance amongst a tribe of people who still practice it to this day, which I'm not a part of, and they haven't shared with me what makes their identity so special to them. So I can't even, I won't comment on it because I don't want to upset anyone. But the doctor that delivered Alexander was not the obstetrician that I went to the entire time I was pregnant just to make sure that Alexander's growth and whatever, like they call, I don't know, prenatal care. He was some special doctor. It was a special doctor that showed up on Alexander's special birthday from his very special mother. And it was a cosmological or astrological brethren to my son and myself who sat at the edge of the bed to receive and catch this very special child into this world. It was his birthday as well. The doctor said to call him Nicholas, meaning the doctor. He said it was his birthday as well. Whatever that means. He knew I said I was going Alexander James. He says, not Nicholas, after yourself. And I said, I don't know. What do you think? And so I went with Alexander James. And whatever. So there was a very special record made on Alexander's public birth certificate, which I have a copy of. It does not mention this doctor that showed up. It's some other process that the New Yorkers use, just like I use their state public system for all sorts of record keeping in alternate ways that mean not what the social means, like Tiafreo and like the 1976 problem. Alexander's important. I'm important. The delivery of Alexander was extremely important. And I know I'm not crazy. I know one other person knows minimum. And that would be the delivery doctor. So they sent someone, the important people in the world sent someone, which matched my birthday and Alexander's birthday, to deliver the baby. I going into from August 2nd to August 3rd, I woke up August 3rd in labor. Was not expecting Alexander to be born that day. I really wasn't. I didn't my due date wasn't for like another week. But so it was a surprise to me waking up that day that he was being born. But someone knew enough and someone knew ahead of schedule to send the correct cosmic piece to deliver the very special bridge between me, the doctor, and my son Alexander. And that is such a significant moment in my actual life. It's star 1978, star 8378, Nicole, Cattaruzza. It's Earth, solar system, Milky Way, universe, galaxies, broken, and it's Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361.